Good morning or good evening, wherever you are. I wanted to talk about this epiphany, I guess you could say, that I had today about all that we are is just an idea, or a collection of ideas, I should say. And it starts when we're very young, even babies, children, and it's not just us, it's society as a whole, it's countries, it's cultures, I'm trying to think, communities. Everything is only an idea. And I say that with confidence because I know what we really are, in a sense. And it's not just me. I mean, there's many people that have written about this and discovered it and experienced it, and it's an experience for sure. And this idea, it starts with, we are humans, and then it moves on to, you are a man or a woman, and now we're not going to get into that, but you have this idea that you are your name, you are your family, you are your title. It then moves on to jobs. You are your employment. You are your bank account. You are your relationship, your marriage, your unmarried. You're lucky. You're not lucky. You're wealthy. You're poor. It's just all ideas or concepts, and it's really none of it is you. And the only way to experience what you are in actuality is by just observing these ideas from a place of detached awareness, meaning you're not feeling any certain way about these ideas anymore. You are literally experiencing yourself as awareness, beingness, God. There's been many ideas of God too throughout life. There were many gods: a sun god, a water god, a god of the sea god. There's, starting with the Greeks. It actually predated the Greeks, I'm sure. Ever since culture, since man existed, they had to come up with this idea of, I'm not doing the weather. I'm not performing, I'm not making, nature. So something had to be made up. Something had to create all of this. And that idea is it eventually turned into I think it's called a monotheistic or monolithic God. It's just one God, one central intelligence that created all of this. And it's an infinite intelligence. It knows, it's where the place where all ideas come from. You call it source, God, self. There's many names that are synonymously used. And in the manifesting community, in even religion, it's really mainly the manifesting community, but God, source. I've studied many different teachers, learned from a lot of things, experienced a lot of different things as well. And God, source, intelligence, the one, universe, it's all synonymous. They could be used interchangeably. And this idea, the ego, so the collection, first we say, I am this body, I am this personality, I am my name, I am my family, I am my social status, I don't know. There's so many ideas. I'm a man or a woman, I'm straight or gay, whatever. There's so many ideas that just have been added over time: wealthy, poor, healthy, sick, fit, fat. They're just one letter away, but we have a picture in our minds about this idea of fit or fat. When you're a child, you don't know anything, and the mind is only a recording and a playback mechanism. That's all it is. there's really two aspects of mind, and I heard about this from the release technique, I believe it was. And there's two aspects of mind. There's the recording aspect, and then the playing back aspect. And we record ever since even when we're in the womb, you can be regressed back through hypnosis into the time when you were in the womb, and you will find that you can recall events that are going on outside of you. And it's actually real, because I had an experience in hypnosis regression, where I could hear my mom and my dad, talking outside of the womb. And when I called my mom after the session was over, I said, "Did this happen?" She was like, "How did you know that?" And it was very simple, that I was experiencing it. I was there, and it was recorded in my mind, and it was accessed through hypnosis. So there's this thing called the subconscious mind, and it's like if you break it down into its parts, subconscious. Sub means it's just below consciousness. So, but it's still active, it's still there, it's still recorded. And whatever's recorded is going to be played back in our lives. So I talked about this in a recent video, where if you have this idea that all men are jerks, then you're going to experience all men being jerks. If you have this idea that all women are gold diggers, you're going to experience all women being gold diggers. I mean, it's just going to be a recreated pattern in your life. And everything in your life, I need to work hard for money. I mean, there's plenty of people that have worked very hard their entire lives, and they have nothing to show for it. They're not wealthy, they're not abundant, they're, sacrificing their health, their time, their family. There's also many people that haven't worked hard, and they are abundant and wealthy, and just, so that whole idea about working hard for money, working hard for wealth, for abundance, for security, that's an illusion. That truly is an illusion. And you only need to see it, a couple pieces of evidence that support that idea that it's an illusion, to say, wow, that's not true. Because if it's true always. And if it's not always true, then it's not true, unless you make it true by holding on to the idea that I have to work hard for money. But even that idea that you got to work hard, I mean, like I said, there's many people that have, especially in this age, there's a lot more millionaires than there were, in the previous decades, and even more so than before that. And it was just, wealth is being redistributed because people are upgrading their ideas, they're upgrading their beliefs, they're upgrading what they believe to be true, and they're experiencing a new reality. So when you upgrade your ideas, right? So just first, you have to kind of observe your ideas. And these ideas are deeply subconscious. They're deeply rooted in the subconscious, and we're not aware of them. So we look at the world that we experience, and a lot of people experience the same world, experience the same reality tunnel, as Robert Anton Wilson says. We all experience, this is how the world works, this is what life is about. And that's not entirely true. And the way that you see that is, but anyway, the whole point of that is, we all experience it because it's been spoon-fed to us many, many years throughout, through decades. And when enough people are spoon-fed this idea, enough people are going to experience reality the same way. It's almost as like the Matrix, where everything that you experience in your life is a projection of your mind. It's all an illusion. It's all this matrix, and this matrix consists of ideas, and these ideas are played back into your experience of life, and then they reaffirm your ideas. But like I said in the last video, consciousness can interrupt that feedback loop. It's like a loop, right? I have an idea, or I was given an idea by my parents, by my teachers, by my guardians, by anybody, and I have this idea, and I then create the result of that idea. And then that result then turns around and feeds the belief that this idea is true. But the way to interrupt that pattern is to simply observe it, to sit back as an objective witness to your life, and to look at your life and say, I'm no longer gonna react emotionally to this. I'm just gonna observe it. And then when you observe it, you break that pattern. Something within you realizes the awareness within you, God within you, the self within you, Brahman within you. I mean, there's many terms that are synonymous, as I've said. But something breaks that pattern and says, okay, this is not who I am. And as soon as that identity is released from you, it ceases to be recreated in your life. And Maxwell Maltz has that book, Psycho-Cybernetics, in which he says the self-image is he calls it the self-image, God, self-image, can't really say that, I guess. They're kind of different. But that self-image is the ideas that we hold of ourselves. And when we hold this idea of ourselves being a certain way, and I've talked about this all the time, I have this amount of money in my bank account, I have this type of I have these types of relationships, I meet these types of women or these types of men, my kids are this way, my family is this way. And when we hold on to those ideas and we reaffirm those ideas over and over and over again, and we can say that I reaffirm it because I'm experiencing it, but the truth is that we are affirming it, we're experiencing it because we're reaffirming it continuously within ourselves, and we're holding on to this idea. So number one, if you have a repetitive pattern in your life, or anything in your life that you would like to change, break that cycle by simply witnessing it, becoming the witness to your life, as if you're when you give somebody advice, you can give them advice very easily because you're not attached, you're not identified with the problem. You are stepping back as an observer, it's very easy, you just do this and then this problem goes away. But when you're identified with the problem, when you're one with the problem, you can't, it's really difficult to see the solution from the problem. So Einstein said we cannot fix a problem from the same level of consciousness that created it, which is basically what I'm saying right now, is that whatever your consciousness is, that's what you're going to experience in your life. So if you don't like what you're experiencing in your life, then become consciousness once again. Just become aware, be a witness, don't be the active participant, be like a bystanding witness. Just kind of watch your life. Watch this body move. Like, oh, this body's moving. Okay, this body's talking. I'm not the one doing it. That's kind of like a detached witness to your life. And, you can, once you do that, once you see that you're no longer those ideas, sometimes those ideas just naturally fall away. Other times you have to do some real inner work to change them. And everything, a lot of people say you got to take action, and you have to take action in the physical world to achieve your goals, to achieve your desires. I say that when you do enough inner work, you will naturally be motivated to take that action. It won't feel like effort. Everything in your life, sorry, that light's flickering, I just noticed that twice now. But everything in your life, your body, the body will be moved to make those phone calls, to open that business, to look into this idea, to receive new ideas. You can even say Elon Musk is somebody who just maybe consciously or unconsciously tapped into what I'm saying, and he's so identified with somebody who's just a genius, who is, like I said, either doing it knowingly, unconsciously, or doing it unknowingly. He wasn't aware of it happening. But at some point, he was identified with this genius who has many ideas, and he's an inventor, and he can't sleep at night because he's got so many ideas that are just constantly running on auto in his brain. So he's a victim to his own level of consciousness as well. He's just, I would say a more advantageous victim than a lot of people. But we can all have those ideas, and I've been working myself and changing my self-image, and the trick is consistency, is persistence, is I'm going to commit myself to believing that I am this level of being, I am this person, I am this ego, until it drowns out all the other subconscious, ideas that I've been holding on to, that I've been given, that I've accepted as true for myself, for the world, for the way the world works. But this is the way the world works, is that your ideas are projected outwards into your life, and then they're fed back, and it's just a constant loop on replay. So I hope this helps. I hope you guys got some benefit from this video. And if you did, leave some comments and share it. That would be nice, so that we can get this information out there and we can create a world that is more harmonious, more loving, more kind. Because when people upgrade their ideas, when they no longer feel limited, when they no longer feel stuck, you're not stuck, you're just committed to this one idea of this one way of thinking, this one way of seeing life, this one way of existence. But you're not actually stuck, you're just committed to it. Maybe you don't know you're committed to it, but now I'm telling you. So when we upgrade people's ideas, when we upgrade the world, and the whole world knows about this, and then everybody can really start to rebalance life and the world and society and culture. And that's how we can create some world peace. That'd be pretty good. So the more people that know about this, the better it is. So the more that you share this, the better, the world will be. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, leave some comments, share the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.